How's it going, everyone? So I'm just here sipping on some ginseng, and I figured I'd make a video, kind of going in alignment with some of the previous videos I've made in the recent theme, which is basically how most society is in a cycle of suffering, and they could overcome it if they had the right information applied in the right way, and they stuck to it persistently over time. So there's a lot of reasons why people suffer and why they don't get over their suffering. And there's a lot of things that we can talk about. So I'm gonna try to detail some of them here, some of the solutions, right? So one of the big ones that I notice is a lot of people just take themselves way too seriously. All the men want to be an alpha male, all the females want to be a bad bitch, or conversely, all the guys want to be seen as a nice guy, a gentleman, or guys want to be seen as hard. I want to be respected for the work that I do. I do hard work and all this, or whatever it might be. Okay, there's all these weird personas people try to portray, or I got to be the tough guy, or they try to look like they make more money than they actually do. So they spend all their money on this like expensive clothing and chains and crap, and they pose with rental cars on their Instagram or whatever it might be, right? And then all this body image disorder crap that goes on, where whether it's females or men take steroids and they don't know how to train and eat properly, and they still look like fucking shit. Like, or women, they'll try to get really really skinny to try to like rise up to some standard that they assume they have to rise up to in order to get validation from their peers. When the reality is like none of that shit's gonna bring you fulfillment. None of that shit's gonna bring you success or happiness or love or anything, no matter what your own subjective view on success and happiness actually even is. Okay, and there's a different meaning behind happiness and success to everybody. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be like some kind of like bulletproof tank, some kind of David Goggins or I don't know, The Rock or some shit like that. You don't have to look like Beyonce. You don't have to be like Ariana Grande. Like I noticed on Instagram, sometimes the Explore page just randomly show like half naked girls. I literally put do not show, not interested, because it's just like it's a distraction, like really, and it provides me no value. But the thing is, these women will post those things, and there's nothing wrong with it. It is what it is, and it's cool. I'm not in any way a shamer, right? But I noticed like a lot of these girls, their whole Instagram is just them with makeup and nails and just like looking really pretty. And honestly, my eyes are like, oh my God, like my heart is like, whoa, she is great looking, at least in this picture, like with all this makeup and also their crap. Legit though, I'm like, oh, that's great, spiking my dopamine, lovely, right? But then my conscious thought comes in. I'm like, wait a second, like, is that the only fucking thing that they have on their Instagram? And I've known people like that too, and I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, what I'm getting, and they're going to be old and wrinkly one day, and if they made all their money off their good looks, hopefully they built up enough money in their savings account for the retirement fund when they can no longer profit off that. But again, like it is what it is. It's whatever. I love beautiful females, so whatever. Um, but these are all kind of like images we're portraying to society, and it's not actually how we feel we are or what we think we are, like deep down inside. And so I've done videos about the pros and cons of the authentic self and the pros and cons of fake it till you make it, or really mostly cons of fake it till you make it. And basically, this whole authentic self thing, there's a lot of flaws in, right? A lot of people, they're like, man, I just want to be authentic. I want to be my spirit, my spiritual self. I'm a Gemini or a Virgo or whatever, and that's just the way I am, and they think that maybe for most of their childhood or whatever, they noticed that they were always trying to please everybody else and try to be something that they were not to please everybody else. Then when they realize that, realize that that's what they were doing, and like, oh shit, I've been being fake my whole life to please everybody else. I need to be my authentic self. That's what I really should do. So I'm gonna stop being fake now, and I'm just gonna try to be my true self now. This is who I really am, everybody. And if you don't like me, then you just don't like real people, and you can screw off. And then they justify their realness. They justify basically their social laziness, social and intellectual laziness is what it is, and we'll get to that. I know it hurts people's feelings, but whatever. I'd say I'm pretty authentic, so I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings, right? But there's more to it. Anyway, yeah, anyone who doesn't like me and my real self can buzz off, and it's like, you go from one extreme, being extremely fake to make other people happy, to all of a sudden being extremely authentic, supposedly, right? And just being unfiltered and letting everything go, and expecting everyone else just take whatever shit you throw at them and hope that it sticks. Of course, this black and white, or good and bad, or just all or nothing thinking is predominant amongst most humans in society that lack critical thinking and nuanced thinking. And it's sad, but it's very rare to find people who really, truly do think beyond that. Most people will say that they do, and they identify as somebody who thinks beyond it, but most people don't. So, anyway, yeah. So, but taking yourself too seriously is a problem, and it's hindering you from fulfillment and all these other things, right? So first of all, if you take your self-image so seriously, like, you want, like, oh shit, no, I'm an alpha male, I don't play with that shit, or, I'm the boss of the house, like, you don't, I don't deal with that, or whatever, or whatever it might be, right? The more serious you take yourself, right, the harder it is to just flow with social circumstances you're put in, with your career. You're always trying to portray this image. You're always a slave to the perception of other people, right? Because if you have this self-image that you're attached to, and you're like, no, everyone needs to think of me as like a queen, or a beautiful, pretty, whatever it is, or like, an alpha male, or a tough guy, or whatever, or a nice guy. This is the problem with the nice guys, right? Is they're always trying to strive to be this ideal that they think they need to be in order to get the validation of women and other people. Like, yeah, I just hold doors for girls because I'm a nice guy, and I spend $200 on the first date because I'm a nice guy, even though it makes the girls feel uncomfortable. Some people don't understand. Like, girls don't feel comfortable when, they've only been on 1 to 3 dates with a guy, and he's like dropping all his money on her and all this other crap. It has nothing to do with like how much anyone's worth or anything like that. It's like, the girl's like, yeah, I kind of just want to get to know you, see if we're compatible, see if we vibe together, if there's chemistry. And then the dude's just like, nah, I got to take her to this restaurant, pay for like a mariachi and all this shit. It's like, bruh, like, what? Why? Right? Like, meanwhile, the majority of the girls, at least in my experience, that I vibe with, we have so much more fun just going through a walk to the park, going to, a bookstore and getting some coffee, and, going to the gym, and a buffet is actually a great one as well. But most guys are like, what? I can't do that. No. Anyway, people are missing the essence of what it is to be a human being. Okay. You can't have fun. You can't, like, you're always taking yourself seriously. Like, anyway, what I really am trying to get at, it's not even this self-image problem, right? That's a whole nother video. But let's so the self-image thing, let's finish that thought first. The self-image problem, okay? It's not a matter of being authentic and transparent, okay? And it's not a matter of being, living up to this image you give people, okay? Again, if you always are like, I am whatever you think you are, and you walk into a room and you're like, you're putting effort into being seen as, this thing, Okay. First of all, most people can feel that. They're like, there's something a little inconsistent with his behavior. It's his. I can tell he's feeling one way and thinking one way, but he's like acting completely out of alignment with those feelings and thoughts. There's some dissonance there. Usually people can feel it. I know I can. I think the more in tune you are with your own kind of like authentic energy, okay, the easier it is to kind of spot that out. But sometimes people are just insecure. And when they see someone like me, for example, who literally, I have a hard time caring, like, it's the truth. I have a hard time caring about how I'm being perceived because I put so much work in to detach myself from the perception of other people so I could feel okay in my own skin, right? Actually feel like a god in my own skin, I will be honest. I know that sounds narcissistic, but whatever. I feel amazing, and I'm effective in every situation I put myself in. And I'm all... So it's like, I don't really... Why would I care? Because I'm effective, and I love who I am, and I feel great all the time in my own skin. I feel like I've reached that goal that a lot of people are seeking through effort, by just not putting a lot of effort and then finding my flow, my natural flow. But where was I going with that? You'll never find your natural flow. You'll never find your alignment with your environment, your alignment with your career, with your friends, with your relationships, if you're not seeking natural flow and alignment. Most people have no flow or natural flow. People are like suffering, effort, okay? Trying to strive to be something that your energy is not conducive with. And so you're always going to be climbing up that hill, okay? It's always going to be an upward battle. And you will find it very hard to maintain healthy relationships, healthy friendships, healthy careers, and all that. And whatever success you have is from that fake persona. You're always a slave to the fake persona the more you try to do that. And generally, there's a saying, a lot of people believe fake people attract fake people. But I don't really know if that's true. And because I believe I'm the opposite of that, I guess I don't really have experience in being fake, so I don't know if that's true. I am skeptical about that, though. I think, some fake people are so good at being fake, and that word fake is meaningless, by the way. There's no such thing as a fake or a real person or authentic person, but the better people are at faking it till they make it, a lot of times the better they are at attracting a wide range of different people. There's a lot of people that are very successful from portraying a character or an image that they really aren't. But I think a lot of these people, like, you hear these people that like commit suicide and stuff like that, and everyone's like, oh my God, I could never have told. He seemed like such a happy person. A lot of that comes from these people have a certain value system that they're not living in alignment with. And they're trying so hard to pretend like everything is okay, and trying so hard to pretend like they are this image for the public or whatever, when the reality is they're suffering because they're trying so hard to uphold that image. It becomes overwhelming, and nothing in your life is authentically in alignment with what it is you really want out of life, okay? So that's the fake dynamic, okay? So much effort, so much stress, and it's ineffective. It's not necessary. But people think that they have to be this likable person somehow, whether it's the alpha male guy or the nice guy or whatever it is. They think they have to be this certain image in order to gain friends, gain people, gain success, whatever, gain validation. And so they're always a slave to that. Okay, so now the other side of that is going to be like the authentic self, okay? Supposedly the authentic self. So I'll be the first to say that I don't think there's a such thing as the authentic self. I don't think there's a such thing as a soul. Like, it's not that I think it doesn't exist, okay? The whole soul thing. It's just that it hasn't been proven, and I think when people think that there's a natural spirit or a natural soul, and they think of it as this static personality that doesn't change. Okay, it becomes a problem. Any form of I am just the way I am, and if you don't like me, then that's too bad for you. You can go somewhere else. That has its place, but can be very ineffective and problematic in many forms a lot of the time. Uh, and again, there's these people who are traumatized as a child, so to speak, and they're trying so hard to please everybody by being this fake person, this fake image, so that their parents love them and society love them and they fit in school. And they become an adult and they're on their own and they realize that they've been being fake all this time and they don't want to be this fake person to please people anymore. And so now they jump to the other extreme and they're like, well, I'm just going to be completely authentic now. I'm just going to be myself now. They don't even know what the fuck. They don't even know what the fuck that means. They've been being fake for so long. How the fuck do they know who they actually are? The fact is, you are always being who you are right now in the present moment, and you're always in a state of becoming whatever it is you're moving in the direction towards. That's really how the personality and the self-image actually works, okay? The so-called true self, right? Self-esteem comes from understanding what I'm about to say and what I'm discussing here in this dynamic. This is where true self-esteem really comes from. True fulfillment, happiness, all that shit comes from understanding this dynamic. You don't have to care if you're into the dating world or whatever, the red pill bullshit, black pill, goddamn it, black pill, incel bullshit, MGTOW, legitimately all that crap, bullshit. But there's obviously benefits in some of these things, mostly like the red pill and MGTOW. There's some truth there somewhat, but not really. You don't have to give a shit about none of that. Most of those ideologies come from emotional suffering, and you're trying to band-aid the emotional suffering with these ideologies, okay? Some will get you some success and move you to a better place, but not the greatest place, not heaven on earth, like what I'm about to fucking tell y'all. I know I sound like I'm leading the cult now. Heaven on earth, everyone. Right this way. Anyway, yeah, that's what it's all about. Listen. All of that stuff will be solved if you understand it's not about faking it till you make it. It's not about being authentic. It's not about MGTOW, red pill. It's not about Buddhism, Christianity, whatever. Okay? What it's about, okay, is understanding what your values are, understanding what's important to me. Okay? I like other human beings who are free-flowing, nonchalant. They will kind of give you space to be your personality, and be who you are, but at the same time, they will tell you how it is. If they're not just yes men. They'll also tell me, hey, you're being a little too loud, or hey, you're being a little aggressive, or hey, I think you could have, talked this way, or done this, or made your video this way, or, maybe you should join this career path, or whatever. Or just like, Wolfgang, you're being an asshole right now, or that was an asshole thing. You should have said it a different way. This is another thing. A lot of people, this is another thing I've noticed. A lot of humans are freaking fragile. They expect society to yield to them. They want society to be nice to them, to shield them, to not offend them, right? If you don't call me by, I'm not gonna get into that, but y'all should know what I'm talking about, right? If you call me by the wrong name or the wrong label, then you should be whatever. Then you're wrong, or you're politically incorrect, or whatever. You're never gonna have fulfillment, high self-esteem if you're that fragile, right? Or someone's whatever. Someone calls me the wrong ethnicity, or someone calls me the wrong gender, or whatever it might be, okay? Anyway, that goes to all things, right? people talk shit about me because I'm bald. They used to in the comment section. I thought that was hilarious, right? Because there was a point in time where I was like really like, oh shit, like I'm going bald. Girls aren't gonna like me and all this crap. Then I had a girl that actually like insisted I shaved my head and grew my beard down. She shaved me, trimmed my beard for me, all that shit. Next thing you know, I noticed, oh wow, I opened up a whole new age group of females that were suddenly always smiling at me and looking at me and flirting with me. Um, I got way more girls when I did that. So I'm like, I should have shaved my head sooner. Well, all these other guys, they'd be offended, right, if they see that shit in the comments or whatever. Anyway, man, where was I going with that? Point is, these are all part of the value systems. Okay, I don't value my material persona. I don't value I don't really care so much. It's not important to me how perfect my skin is, how bald I am, or like how shaved my head is. I don't give a fuck, provided I don't look like a scrub to the point where I'm not selling training or whatever, right? But I'm literally, I have some of the highest percentage of selling in my career right now. In my company, actually, I'm trending way upwards in sales. I've been tripling and quadrupling my sales the last couple of months, so I'm performing very, very high at things I need to do that involve my appearance. So I don't like, as long as I'm selling training, as long as I'm gaining good relations with other humans, I don't really think my appearance is that important, right? And obviously, I have to like what look in the mirror or whatever, what I see in the mirror, but I don't really look in the mirror as much. I purposely try not to care. But then when I do look in the mirror, I'm like, damn, I'm sexy as shit. How the fuck did I get so cute? And that's a real reaction. Apologize, I know. Insecure people hate hearing shit like that. Like, so full of yourself and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, you should probably do something about yourself to where when you look at yourself in the mirror, you feel that way too. But, not to say that I don't have imperfections. I obviously do, but I don't know. My perfections outweigh the imperfections. Good ratio of that. What was I saying? Look, yeah, what matters to me? Like, right? There you go. Value system, okay? I don't value materialism outside of how effective am I being. That's what I value. I value function over form. That's my value system. Function over form. Okay? When right now I'm representing one of my previous clients and really good friends, Brandon Gutierrez, El Cananero. I represent the shit that I want to see fucking grow. That's the clothes that I wear. Okay, shout out to El Cananero. I'm wearing my Gold's Gym hat, partially because I was forced to buy this hat, but the other thing is I love where I wear Gold's Gym. And I love what Gold's Gym represents nowadays. They went from general fitness and training old people to all of a sudden serious health goals. Well, they've always been about that. And there's a lot of old people with really serious health goals too. I mean, obviously, they have some of the most serious and important goals out of all, being healthy. But yeah, I represent the stuff I want to see grow. I want to see successful. That's part of my value system. You're not going to see me walking around wearing a generic Gymshark shirt. That's a clothing brand that's like really prestigious in gym clothing culture. It's such a generic fucking clothes with just a tiny logo on it. I don't wear things for the trend or for the gimmick. That looks empty to me. You see what I'm saying? This is what values is all about. The type of clothes I wear, they mean something. The tattoos I have on me, like this one was like, it's a thorny vine leading up to a sun, and it's also a sunflower at the same time. And it basically represents that life you're gonna go down a path towards your goal, and you're going to, be on the journey and in the process of trying to reach your goal. The sun is the goal. And these thorns on the vine represents the obstacles along the way to reaching the promised land, to reaching your main goals. That's what my tattoo is about. But how many people do you know that have tattoos of just meaningless bullshit? Batman tattoos, or a flower or some shit that isn't a metaphor, which it's okay, like if that's what you like, that's what you like. My point, that's an example. That's a reflection of my values, okay? Again, like my baldness, I don't give a fuck about my baldness, right? Regularly make videos being bald, I don't give a shit because if, again, what's important? The content. This whole video is a philosophy fucking video. So people that come through and they leave comments on my damn video and they're like, "Oh, you're bald, blah blah blah." It's like, man, like I don't care because obviously your value system is completely different from mine. To me, I'm like, I don't see how, like I don't see how anyone could waste their time and energy, okay, commenting on my video about how to improve your life, improve your health, and all you have to say is how bald I am. That's what your brain is focusing on. To me, that looks like mental illness, and this is a legitimate thing. People who don't have a life, they'll think I'm just bragging or I'm just exaggerating or making shit up, but this is a real reality. Okay, it's crazy because I used to be one of those people who would comment on shit like that, leave paragraphs about why eating meat is bad back when I was vegan, all that shit, or whatever. Um, but nowadays, I have no time at all to spend unconstructively telling someone how bald they are, how their makeup looks bad, or whatever it might be. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I don't see how anyone can leave comments like that. But that's the thing. Okay? I doubt that person has really thought about how valuable that their time is, or why are they even posting that comment. That's a reflection of somebody who hasn't really thought about what's important to them. When you sit down and you think to yourself, like, hey, um, you know, is this really that important to me, or what's important to me, whatever, right? So you want to write down a list of the things that you really, really want in life, okay? For me, I'm all about making other people's lives better, help improving their health through specific targeted nutrition protocols, whether it's meat, fruit, and organs or whatever, or some people, a little bit of beans and whole grains, but also lots of meat, hopefully, right? And some people do fruits and veg as well. That's cool, as long as it's in alignment with your health goals and your current constitution and intolerances. Um, Tonic herbs, and then obviously mindset practices, okay, and that will align you with the goals that you want in your life. I'm all about improving other people's life, and then stacking paper has a side effect of doing what I'm passionate about and sharing my gifts with other people to add value to their life, to make their life better, okay? Obviously, stacking paper is important, but to me, again, my value system, I was never motivated by money ever, okay? My first motivating factor is passion, purpose, desire, fulfillment. And then I've noticed I'm addicted to getting other people results. It's weird. I'm like addicted to that shit. Like when I have a client come in and they're 40 pounds lost in a matter of 3 months, I'm like, damn. No, not very many trainers are doing that shit, right? Or when I have people from my YouTube channel, maybe people that I've consulted with in the past, or people who just watch my channel and have never had sessions with me or consulting with me, and they send me DMs on my Instagram. They're like, "Hey, I freaking, I had one guy. I was paralyzed. I was bedridden. I was on disability and all this crap. I couldn't even walk, and just by following your basic some of your basic concepts, not even perfectly, I was able to go back to a normal job again and start working out at the gym after a decade of being disabled and bedridden. I've had someone tell me that. When I have people sending me testimonials like that, that is like lights me up from the inside. Okay, so yeah, these are all the things I'm focused on when I go and I hang out with friends or I'm in a social gathering of some kind. Okay, I am not focused on, oh shit, I better not say the wrong thing or this person might judge me, or I'm not thinking about like any of that. What I'm focused on is raising the vibe. I'm focused on having fun. I'm focused on building a party of some kind that is easy to receive for everybody else. And if you vibe with me, if you want to have fun, if you want to enjoy your time on this planet, you're going to be a part of my party. That's the way I see it. And I do that, obviously in different kind of ratios with different volumes turned up or down depending on the person. That's my perspective when I'm training clients, when I'm consulting with clients, just throughout the day, even when I'm at the grocery store, when I'm out running errands. Okay, I'm talking to people. I'm trying to have fun, trying to build rapport. I'm living this life. I'm being human, but connecting, right? Human to human. I see a lot of people on their phones, zombie, or you say hi to them, or you say, hey, have a good day, or whatever it might be, and they just kind of like they take themselves so fucking seriously that they can't receive that, they can't reciprocate, they can't vibe with it, because maybe their mom taught them, their parents taught them when they were younger, like, you can't talk to strangers or whatever it might be, right? That's weird. That's weird if you talk to strangers like that, right? Like if you're nice to strangers and you're a crazy person. Like, to me, I'm like, man, like what does that even mean? Like, what does that mean? What is the benefit of that? What's the purpose of that? Not much. To me, it's about what is the greatest good that can happen in any given moment. What greater good can happen if you're just like staring at your phone completely? You don't say hi to people, even if they say hi to you, right? And you think anyone who says hi to you is weird. What the fuck is that, right? Oh, that guy said hi to me, or he said have a good day, or he asked me how I'm doing, right? Like, buzz off, weirdo. Like, the fuck? Okay, right? It's a weird reality to live in. But then you have, and again, if that's the way you are and want to be, that's fine. But for me, what's important to me on this earth is like having friends, sharing good energy with other people, and having good vibes. And you can't be attached to other people whether they vibe with you or not, because that's not good vibe, right? It doesn't matter, and other people are free to do whatever they want, right? But within the context, yeah, of society and whatever. But no, the greatest good that can happen at any given moment, okay, it comes from that kind of natural flow of subtle positive energy, and however that expands or doesn't expand, right? So I like to be that way. But anyway, these are kind of like, but I can't be like that if I'm super stifled, if I take myself too seriously. If I'm like, oh shit, like what are the people thinking of me? Or if I'm like, whatever. Like I'm like, oh no, I can't, I don't want to be goofy. I don't want to be laughing. I don't want to be whatever. It's like, man, that shit does not. You're gonna die one fucking day, and when you're dead, okay. Like, if you believe in an afterlife, like what, you go into heaven and you're still gonna be that stifled, serious persona that you've been trying so hard your entire life to uphold. That's who you think is gonna go to heaven, right? You're up there chilling with God and Jesus, and you're like, yeah, I'm an alpha male, okay, or whatever it is, right? Like, nah, right? Um, but yeah, whatever the fuck you believe is gonna happen after you die. The point is, you're not. It's like at the end of life, what actually matters? What actually matters at the end of life? It is, like, you think you're more likely to regret? You're like, oh shit, I should not have said hi to all those people. I should not have built rapport with those people. Shouldn't have, had fun and just like been open up and whatever, you know. Or do you think you're gonna be like, oh man, I should have been a little bit easier going. Should have been try to have a little bit more fun. Should have said hi to those people. Should have talked to that girl. Should have maybe tried the carnivore diet or tried the raw vegan diet or tried those tonic herbs or whatever, right? Should have loosened up a little bit, right? Should try to enjoy those times that I had. like, but then like when you're actually in those situations, like, no, like, fuck, like, or what, I hope those people don't think that I'm weird or awkward or like whatever, right? Or like, oh shit, like I can't believe I'm bald. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, take whatever it is you have, man, and maximize that shit. Okay, maximize every moment. Um, yeah, it's kind of hard to suffer when you're in that mode, but I don't think a lot of people are anywhere near the type of emotional healthiness that is kind of like required at first to like even be able to do that. Because most people, they have such low self-esteem. They feel like they have such low value to provide society that they have to overcompensate by um, trying to hold back or trying to be something they're not or whatever it is. All of that crap comes from a lack of authentic value. Okay. But when you know it's actually valuable to you, then you're able to reciprocate value to other people. Okay. Again, like I mentioned before, like what's valuable to me is like obviously function first, right? How healthy are we? How great are we performing? Um, does this shirt fit me? Is it comfortable? And then is it sending the type of message I want to advocate for? Um, and once I have all of that, then I'm out with other people. Generally speaking, the value that I can give other people have something to do with the value I want other people to give me, if that makes sense, right? Like I want to make other people better, improve them and stuff like that. And so a lot of the people that I'm around are people that also want to get better and they want help at getting better. And our conversations might have something to do with getting better, but it's not serious. I bullshit all the time. I laugh my ass off with my best friends. We spend most of our time laughing uncontrollably. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know if this helped people. Um, but yeah, let me know if you like these type of videos down in the comments because I just talk and I lose track of the things I'm saying. It's just kind of coming out, but yeah. So yeah, the main point I'm trying to get here is like, it's not so much about being authentic. It's not about trying to be something that you're not either. It's about knowing what's important to you, knowing what you enjoy doing, knowing how you enjoy being and who you enjoy being around, knowing what kind of career and work makes you click, makes you tick. Um, it's about, yeah, and cultivating that. Now the thing is, like, people who are naturally broken, authentically broken, they're not able to kind of do these things effectively because they think that everyone should just accept them how they are and whatever else it is. And especially if you're coming from a place of being fake for everyone else and trying to please everyone else and whatever, chances are there's a reason why you had to compensate. There's a reason why you're trying to fake it till you make it. And the reason why usually has to do with a lack of self-worth deep in yourself and a lot of kind of emotional flaws and personality flaws. So make no mistake, you're not going to be able to just be who you are and have friends and a good career and all that shit if you're coming from a kind of traumatic childhood and a lifetime of being fake, so to speak. And for me, I tried that shit. I tried to just be who I was, but who I was very dysfunctional for a long ass time. And it just caused me a lot of anxiety, social anxiety, and then kind of failing relationships, kind of, right? It was wonky. I go through periods of time where I was doing great and then fall and great and fall, okay? So, yeah, and that's common with that type of behavior. So, you have to understand, again, like, what is a healthy social skills, healthy emotions look like for you? And really, I think all of this really comes from like just identifying what you really want in life, but like, and then aligning yourself with it. But just some things that you should I guess, look out for and us to not do, right? Obviously, complaining about your problems to other people, dwelling in your problems. I mean, you can talk about your problems, but like, like, oh, I have trauma or I have this or I have that. If you're the type of person that, for whatever reason, has the urge to talk to your friends about your problems, then that indicates an issue with not knowing what your values are and not living in alignment with it. Because the more you live in alignment with your values and what it is you want in your life, the more you focus on that, all of the trauma, the anxiety, depression, as hard as it is for you to understand right now, because I was there, all that shit fades away in the background. The more you focus on what it is you want in life, the more all that shit fades in the background, okay? It's the hardest thing for people to accept because they identify with their trauma or whatever, identify with their suffering. And if you don't validate my suffering, then fuck you. Then you're just an asshole and all that crazy shit, right? You can't. I can't just like because there's this whole thing now. Normalize depression, normalize trauma, or normalize talking about it, and like that's cool. Talk about it with a licensed professional, or talk to somebody who's overcame the trauma. Okay. But most people are suffering and dealing with trauma, and if you just go to them with your problems too, it's just two people that both have their own suffering and they suffer together, and that suffering is what grows from that shit. So no one wins, okay, in that scenario, but people can't see that. Again, coming from my background where I had all these problems that were severe that most people never get out of, I see this clearly. But people be like, no, like you never deal with my problems and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, all right, continue in your Reddit community where people don't want to get better. Anyway, where's I going with that? Yeah, that's one thing. But the other thing is like, there's these people who are just like complete assholes. There's a lot of people, okay, especially men, but women too, right? Again, it goes like a big sector is those people, those women who identify as bad bitches or queen shit or whatever it is. Same thing with the guys who are like alpha male or king shit or whatever, tough guys. Like those are toxic personality traits. Those are operating under pseudo self personas that are trying to project outward. But yeah, if you think you're just naturally an asshole, but like in a dysfunctional way, because I think I'm an asshole, but I just say that because I know I'm not an asshole. It's the intention, right? I'm not mean to people to be mean to people, or I don't shit on people for no reason or anything like that. Everything I do has an intention behind it. There's a reason I criticize people the way I do, or a reason why I joke with people the way that I do, right? It's for the greater good usually. But if you're one of those people who are just like purposely trying to find things to be mean about or whatever it is, because there's people out there like, yeah, I'm just real, and if you don't like it, then fuck you. And it's like, meanwhile, they're doing alcohol and drugs and all this other shit, and they constantly find themselves in drama and all this other crap. Yeah, if that's who you think you are naturally, then you need to fix it. You need to fix it, man. Yeah, so I mean, again, there's nuance in all of that. You can't just find, like, this natural flow I'm talking about. Man, there's no space for that drama, for that craziness, or anything like that. It's smooth sailing. It's like, yeah, let's all just rise together. Let's improve ourselves. Let's have fun. Let's be social. Let's smile. Let's enjoy things. Let's care about the shit that actually matters, right? Let's not distract ourselves with bullshit that we're not going to care about when we're on our deathbeds or whatever it might be. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just so crazy to me, like the crazy traps of psychology that most humans get themselves into. It's crazy. For me, I don't know. I don't want to say this because I don't know. When I was younger, people used to give me shit when I say shit like this. Actually, that was one of the reasons why, like, I guess I had some of the issues that I talked about before when I was younger. But like, I don't know, man. Like, it's kind of hard for me to identify as human. Like, I'm so sorry. Um, People thought that I was delusional as a kid. I said something along those lines, but it's funny. My mom still holds me to that, but it's all right. But seriously, like, cause I'm like, I just don't feel like I just the way I see things, my brain, everything. I just feel like I'm in this other reality. I'm on this other level, and I just think the majority of humans, 80% or more, are in this weird ass funk. Like they're animals, and I'm actually like a little bit more evolved, I guess, right? And I don't like saying that because that's another trap you can get yourself into. Oh, I'm more evolved than them. It becomes a justification, an excuse, and all this shit. And another kind of self image that you attach yourself to, right? I'm just more spiritual than everyone else, right? Yeah. Oh, that person doesn't like me? Well, that's because they're not evolved enough, or that's because they're not spiritual enough. Like, that's another trap. Anyway, hopefully this shit made sense. I gotta stop recording and get back to my meditation and self study because, you know, weekend vibes, right? Yeah, let me know down in the comments if you like these videos. Let me know if you found this valuable because I don't know. I just start recording, I just start talking and lose track of the topics, and then I feel like they don't make sense, or I assume they don't make sense, or whatever. But I've also noticed that these tend to be the videos that get the most clicks and views and likes. Unless, of course, I'm making a video just like talking about dopamine or testosterone or some kind of herb that everyone really like wants to like, whatever. Whatever, man. All the shit I say is gold. All right, I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments, though. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this type of content. All right, because if you interact with it, you tell me you like it. If you really do get value from it, and you let me know, then I'll be way more inclined to make more shit like this. Okay, because I have a shit ton of thoughts and things to say. And yeah, debate me in the comments too if you disagree with something. That'll only spark more content. All right, have an amazing freaking day.